Wednesday, October 25th meeting of the Harwich Information Committee. And I'll call the meeting to order now. Everybody's here except Pam Grosswald. So Emily Mylan's here and Joy Jordan, our new member. And I'll look around to see if there's any public comment. Seeing none, we'll move on to new business. And our first order of business is to reorganize the committee. So, may I put a motion out
Certainly.
to nominate Emily Mylan as the chair for the rest of the term?
I
And
would second that.
that's okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Congratulations. So I think the agenda's now yours.
Yeah. Oh, is it as of right
Yeah,
this
I
very
think it
moment?
It
Okay.
takes- Yeah,
All right. Well, thank you. I thank you for your service over the
Yeah.
last couple of years. I appreciate it, and
thank you, Emily.
I am happy to take my turn as chair,
Yeah.
knowing that it will be temporary and not permanent. Because we do such a good job in this committee kind of sharing roles. And it really is a wonderful committee to work with. I'm so happy to have you,
Oh,
Joy.
me too.
Really
Very
happy to
excited.
have you. I think it's going to be a great addition. You're really going to enjoy this. We have an opportunity to, witness firsthand how our town is working and operating and to encourage people to get involved in a
Yes.
really productive way. And it's just a nice group to be a part of. So thank you for joining us.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here.
Delighted.
All right, well, it's my first time chairing a meeting. I guess we will move on to approving minutes, which it's just you and I voting.
Right.
And Pam is not here, so do I have a motion to approve the?
I move that we approve the Wednesday, April 28th minutes.
All right, and I'll second. And vote?
Aye.
Aye. There.
I'll abstain.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. So I guess I can stop taking notes, although we did
Oh,
not.
we didn't do a
Yeah, so I think
secretary.
we need to back up. Can we back
Right.
up here?
We can
and-
back up.
All right,
We're
and I'll.
flexible.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And I will make a motion to nominate Chris as clerk.
Yes.
All right, do I hear a second?
I second that.
All right. And I'll put it to a vote. I vote aye.
As do I.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, great.
All right, thank you. So
Yeah.
I'll stop taking notes. I don't have to do the minutes this time around. I know. All right, so we'll move on to old business. Know Your Town. I just want to give you guys a quick little update. I did reach out to Chris a couple of weeks ago, as we discussed at the end of last fiscal year. I'm going to move forward with the Know Your Town podcast, doing a series with the chairs of various boards and committees in town. So I'm in the process of working up a contact list so I can reach out to them to start scheduling those recordings. And as we discussed, the intent is just to kind of help voters understand the purpose and the role of each committee in town, and also to advertise any openings that they have on the committee. And I see it kind of as a recruiting effort, to encourage people to participate if it's something that they have, the required knowledge about, in some cases, depending on the board and committee, and interest in. So I'm getting started with that. But I did reach out to Chris a couple of weeks ago. In between our meetings, I had a brainstorm that I could not let go. And I made a proposal to our town administrator, Joe Powers, to do a quarterly check-in with Joe as a part of that series. So it's going to kind of be our anchor for the series. I have a meeting with him tomorrow morning to kind of decide the outline for each program, but I came up with a proposed outline that I sent to him. I believe I have it with me.
It looked wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
I can, off the top of my head, when we record in September, we'll essentially be kind of setting the stage for the fiscal year. This September, we'll be talking about our special town meeting that's going to take place on October the 18th here at the community center at 6:30.
Right.
And we'll start to kind of talk about the budget process because we're still early on in that stage. We'll talk about special town meeting, any particular articles that might be proposed. It's still kind of early in that process because this is all coming about kind of quickly. if you watched the Board of Selectmen's meeting, which I know you guys did, you heard his timeline.
It's fast.
It's fast. It's
Yeah.
very fast.
Yeah.
So I'll be meeting with him tomorrow to kind of set up the outline for the September recording. And then we'll meet again in December. At that point, we'll be further along in the budget process, and I think we'll be able to speak more specifically to the budget. We'll be approaching the annual joint meeting with FinCom and the board and department heads at that point. So we'll have a good draft budget to discuss. Then January, February, March, we'll be discussing the warrant for annual
Right.
town meeting, and then in June we'll kind of do a wrap up of the year.
Well, we'll also have, I believe, 2 selectmen vacancies,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we will. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I have a meeting with Joe tomorrow to talk about those quarterly meetings with town administration. I suggested that he be thinking about whether he'd like to include Assistant Town Administrator Megan Eldridge or the Finance Director Carol Coppola, and we'll see what he says. I'll have more information at our next meeting.
Love it. Is your
Yeah.
vision to have that first piece with him sort of launch the fall Know Your Town series and then have the individual
Yeah.
sessions come after that? That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Love it.
So I kind of see it as like an anchor. That'll get us
Yeah.
started. While I'm there tomorrow, it'll give me an opportunity to touch base with Ellen and Danielle
Yeah.
in the main office about getting contact information for the
Right.
chairs, making sure I have an updated list of all of the chairs.
Right.
I could go through the town website, but that's pretty time consuming.
tedious.
So I'm going to try to reach out to them.
I know they're working on it, or
Yes.
one or the other or both.
Yes,
Yeah, that's great.
absolutely. So I'm really excited about that. I was happy to get a meeting with him so quickly because I know he's really busy, so that worked out well.
Great.
That worked out really well.
Great. Well, any sort of behind the scenes support you need pulling
Thank
that
you.
together, just let me know.
Thanks,
'Cause
I
that sounds like a
appreciate
lot of
it.
work for you
Oh,
to
I
do
know.
alone.
I appreciate it. I definitely could use probably some help on the PR aspects. If you wanted to put together, we can talk about this at the next meeting when we have a timeline for when I've scheduled some of the podcasts.
Right.
But that just helps me to have that done, and then I can just plug
Right,
it in
shoot
on
it out,
social
yeah.
media. And then, obviously I always need some help sharing it to the various town groups and
Yep.
things. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's it for Know Your Town. So up next is the candidates forum. Chris, you've taken the lead on that one.
I
so-
have, yep, I think we're in good shape. I sent out a rudimentary action plan that I pulled from, I think, 2019 or 16, I don't even know what. And while I don't wanna be tedious and go through all the steps, I think we're in good shape. We get the room on the 2nd at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So I'm suggesting we be there then. I know Joan Craig will brief the candidates at 5:45, and then we'll start at 6. And as we did in the past, we would come up with a couple of questions to get her going. So if you could send me a couple, I don't wanna say what we did in the past, cause then we'd be, showing our hand a little too much, but, yeah, maybe tomorrow or the next day, and then I can get, them to her. I'm hoping both of you will do the questions and screen them. And the timer's gonna come from League of Women Voters, I
Excellent.
forget who, to tell you the truth. So I think that's kind of it. I'd suggest that we send out the flyer to our own friends. I know I'll send it to some of the list I have from Friends of the Council on Aging, and then my own friends. Not that they aren't my friends, but that didn't sound right. Oops. Yeah, so, and then Bill Galvin was at the meeting, Board of Selectmen's meeting. I'm sort of relying that then it'll show up again in the Chronicle.
Yeah.
But if you have other ideas, let me know. And it's already on our webpage.
Yep,
So
and
what am I
I've scheduled some
forgetting?
social media posts through the library, which we can
Oh,
then
good.
share.
Yep.
So when we see those pop up, if we want to share those to various places.
Yep.
And I sent out a newsletter, and I have another newsletter scheduled for September the 1st, the day before, just as a
good.
reminder.
And I did reach out to the history and government team
Oh,
at the high school
Oh,
Yeah,
and shared it with them, just,
Great.
knowing that
yeah.
students aren't back yet,
Yeah,
but
but,
a number
yeah.
of them have, Google Classrooms
Yeah.
and mailing lists that are still operational, and encourage them to.
And Mr. Houston's Twitter account, which
Yeah.
is so popular.
Well, he retired.
I know.
I know.
I forgot about that.
yeah, one of my
I
emails
forgot
too
about
had
that.
bounced.
Yeah, I forgot
Right.
about that.
I
Oh.
know, but there's a bunch of
Yeah.
teachers ready to kind of take up
Awesome.
that
I'm sure.
mantle, so,
Thank you.
hopefully they'll share it out, especially like the AP government teacher, that sort of thing, to
Great,
reach out
thank
to
you.
those kids at least and encourage some of them to come.
Yeah.
We'll see, it's the last week
know.
of summer vacation.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's see, I think, am I forgetting anything? We show up at 5, we'll set the room up the way the League of Women Voters wants it.
Yeah. And we have all of the supplies
We
that we
do.
need. Okay, great.
Yep, I
Yeah,
have everything, yep.
got plenty of
It's
index cards and
Yes,
yes,
I-
good.
and pens.
I have
pencils
quite a
from-
stack. I have
Yes,
quite
I
a
know.
stack at
I do
home. So
too.
if you need some, let
Yeah.
me know.
The only thing, this is maybe provide water,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always confused if the town allows plastic water
What?
bottles.
They did not.
I thought they did not as well.
Yeah,
I can confirm.
yeah,
I suspect it would probably be okay for us to have like the 3 bottles for.
The
I think
speakers,
yes. I
yeah.
think it's more. They're not selling
Right.
Got
plastic
it.
water
Sales
bottles or
is
yeah.
definitely prohibited.
Yeah.
I know there's been exceptions made for sort of
yeah.
charity events, giving them
Right.
away.
Right, fire
but-
departments,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
in a
charity
pinch,
event.
you can actually get canned water.
Yes, or
So-
boxed water.
Right.
That's true.
Okay, all right,
All right, so I can grab water.
all right,
I'll grab
that's
water,
nice.
and maybe I'll just do the boxed water to be safe. Boxed or canned,
Yeah,
just to be safe.
so I think we're in good
okay.
shape.
Okay, so all you need from us is to send any questions that we formulated ahead
Yeah.
of time to you via email.
Right.
Okay, we can do that.
And both the Republican Committee and the Democratic parties held forums, if you
Right.
will, yeah. And I think one of them might be on the Democratic Town Committee page.
Yes.
Facebook page,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a YouTube recording, I
Yep,
believe.
they recorded
Yeah.
that one, and I'm assuming our event.
Ours will be
Yes.
recorded as well, yeah.
Right, and
And
so
that
that's part of the,
yeah.
you'll do the intro, I hope.
Yes, I will do the
Yeah,
intro.
and then,
absolutely.
yeah, so they know that Channel 18
Yeah.
also.
Mhm, yeah,
Because Jamie's great at making sure that happens a
absolutely.
lot of times.
Yeah.
Yep, okay,
Absolutely.
that's it then.
Okay,
Do you remember what 3 was?
I don't
I
recall.
do.
I don't recall, so I will take, I will defer to you.
Pam had the idea of when a candidate first takes out their papers, that voter information have a sheet or two describing what we do and how, not that we help them with their campaign, but where we would step in and have a candidates
Mhm.
forum or interviews or whatever.
Mhm.
So she's working on that,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
basically the update, yep.
All right, and she's got time because that won't really come into play again until the spring.
Yep.
And that will be for all elected positions, so the Board of Trustees, Water Commissioners,
Right,
okay.
yeah.
Excellent,
I think it'd be nice, yeah. Okay,
okay.
Yep.
So under other, I did have a couple of things I just wanted to point out. We've talked a little bit prior to the meeting or earlier in the meeting about special town election.
oh, yeah.
October the 18th. I'm just wondering, typically before our annual, not special election,
know what you
special town meeting, thank you. October the 18th. Normally before annual town meeting, we do some warrant reviews
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. So do we want to, as we watch this process, it is really condensed. Maybe we can't do everything, but we could do one
Yeah.
recording with Channel 18.
Yeah.
Maybe with the finance director and the chair of the board and town administrator to kind of hit the highlights
I'd
at
love that.
least.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
All
shoot
right.
for it, yeah.
all right. So, so I would just say like a warrant review, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing is you both watched the Board of Selectmen's meeting on Monday, so you saw John Eidman's discussion of the local comprehensive plan. I'm really excited that this is getting started. I liked what he had to say. I think he's got a really good direction, and that's going to be like a 2-year long process. So just something I think we should all keep an eye on. as it unfolds. I don't know if there will be a way for us to
Support.
support
Yeah.
that, but I do think it's important, especially those public meetings, because this is really, getting the word out about those and making sure that relevant stakeholders are involved is really important.
Yeah. It was interesting also a reference to the 1969 plan as being a rather good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, with input from the community.
Yeah, which is on my list to go back and read now because I'm not familiar with that one, obviously. It wasn't living here back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it'll be really interesting. I did like what he had to say about this really being like a master plan, like a land use plan, and
Yeah.
centered around that versus like an operational plan,
Mhm.
which I think the last comprehensive plan that I was here for and involved in somewhat
Yeah.
was really more of an operational plan. So this one will be a little different approach. So
It'd be nice to be involved.
I think it would be nice to be involved and really to encourage voters to be involved in those public meetings, especially.
Yep.
Yep. But that was it.
So those 2 items, great, I got them
Okay.
as the new secretary.
Anything else
I
that
don't
we want to
think
add
so.
to other?
Yeah.
So the other thing I was thinking about, and this may be something that either already exists or is not in our purview, but that I think might be helpful, is maybe in conjunction with the Know Your Town series, is to create some static materials as well that maybe say, just really quickly what each committee does or what their role is, or, because I think even some of that more basic stuff is just overwhelming to a lot of
Right.
people in town, and I think the more we can break it down, the more accessible it'll make it to them. If
Yeah.
that-
I love that idea. I am all about access points. I love the fact that Know Your Town is like the audio version, where Channel 18 is the video
Right.
version, and I think this is adding a total. People have different learning styles and absorb information
Right.
in different ways, so that's an excellent way to add to what we're doing.
Okay, so maybe as that gets going, we can
Yes.
work on it and
Right.
Yep.
create some sort of master list that
Yeah.
just is a, one page, here are
Yeah.
the committees, here's an easy way to learn what they
Absolutely.
do, where your interests might lie,
And the
Absolutely.
committee handbook,
Mhm.
the intention was to get each committee to provide a blurb on their charge. And it, some of the chairs just didn't come through
Yeah.
with their blurb,
Yeah.
so this would be fabulous.
Yeah.
And maybe it would encourage a revision to the
Handbook.
right,
handbook.
we
Yeah.
could expand on it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
use that as a
Yeah.
starting point, so.
Yeah,
I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
wonderful.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right. Anything else that we haven't covered yet?
Not for me.
No? Joy, anything else?
I don't think so yet.
Okay. All right, well, my watch is dead, so I don't have a time, but if hearing no further business, do I have a motion
2:21.
to adjourn?
Yep.
Motion and a second?
Second?
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Very good. 2:03, I think we started.
I think so.